Hey everybody, Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. I'm going to try to make sure that's centered. Yep. What's up everybody? What's going on? 99% clairvoyant reading. If you're watching this live, hello. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel. And please like the videos. When you like the videos and comment, YouTube will actually use the algorithms to send Coach for the Soul around the planet. So please help me out and build the channel. Please like the videos when you watch them. Please, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. Hello, Allison. Hi, Nancy. Yeah. Hey, Robin. Yeah. So we're going to talk about all the energy, all the craziness. What else are we going to do? Pretty much that. Yeah. Solar eclipse on Saturday, on the new moon. On the 28th, we have a lunar eclipse on the full moon. Hi, Nancy. How's it going? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Israeli-Hamas thing. Yep. Hey, Haley. What's up, girl? Yep, going to talk about that. And, yeah. Everybody's thinking that the world is jacked up. Hey, Alexis, what's up? And the world is jacked up, but understand, and I use this all the time, everything happens exactly how it was supposed to happen, okay? So nothing's by chance, right? Everyone's safe, you know, unless they're in the conflict. And you know, hey, Kathleen, how are you today? And, yeah, so we'll talk about that too. So we'll give it a couple minutes, see who comes on. But, yeah, it's a beautiful day in Detroit today. A little chilly because it's fall, but the leaves are starting to turn, which is kind of cool. They've been late this year, big time, by like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. But yeah, it's about 50, I don't know, 55, 56 degrees outside. So I got the long sleeve on, probably from now until I get to Hawaii. Then you'll see me in tank tops all the time. So yeah, everything's moving forward. We got all this energy that's trying to push us back. And yeah, I have notes. So yeah, we had conversations today. So it's like, okay, what's going on? How are we doing it? Things like that. So yeah. But everything's going to be fine. Hey, Kimberly, what's up? I gotta say at the beginning that the solar and lunar eclipses are going to, hey, Kathy, are going to send us into 5D. Okay? So, and we'll talk about that too. So be ready. Okay? Be ready. Hey, Cal, what's going on? Yeah, so it's going to be pretty good. Right now, I guess we're going to start because he's talking to me. Right now, what's going on is the solar eclipse energy is absolutely brutal. It's brutal, okay? And you hear the chimes. They agree. It's brutal and it's emotional, okay? And why is that? Because it is pulling up ancestral energy from the past, okay? What does that mean? Well, I'll say this as frankly as I can. Your dumb butt chose to clear your family's ancestry of all the gunk, the crap, everything that happened, emotional, physical, everything, in your lifetime. You're kind of a hero, right? You can look at it that way. It's more positive than why would I do that, right? Because you're here at this time, right? And if you're watching Coaching for the Soul, you are the destined person to relieve that ancestral energy. Yeah, okay? If you're in your spiritual place, you're going to go way higher in the next month, all right? So, sorry, the cough's still there. I'm trying to do stuff for it, but I don't know. I'm going to have to go to the doctor again. Okay. The eclipses, hey, Erica, are meant to shake you up, okay? They're meant to bottoms up, right? They're meant to just absolutely bring everything up. Spirit says 10 times a Mercury retrograde. Why? Because they have to get us ready for 2024. Right? Spirit's been preaching that for months. And now we're at the goal line, right? So all the junk comes up. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be, I know. Spirit says it's going to be like squeezing an orange, getting all the juice out. And our body's the orange. And so the universe, the energy, the eclipses, the planets are absolutely squeezing us from all sides to make us, to make us look at it and to make us look at it, to make us deal with it, to make us be in cocoon mode, right? Because that's the best place to do your work is when you're alone, by yourself if you possibly can, all right? Because they need us to be there. There, yeah. And they're going to take us there. So if you haven't done your meditations, if you haven't done your one-on-one work with yourself, if you're not parenting yourself, right, out loud, if you're not talking to spirit, they're going to, I know. They want us to put the toothpaste back in the tube. We can't. It's impossible. Can't do it. There's no way we can do it. We can't do it, right? But that's the way they look at it. Is okay, we need you to be ready to go there. And if you haven't done the work, you're going there anyway, right? So the best thing to do is be whole with yourself, to be connected to yourself, to understand that everything is happening like it's supposed to, right? Everything. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is by chance. It's all, I know. Benchmark, 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 right? It's true. He changed the word on me, I think. Yeah, he did. He used benchmark now. So yeah. So what we have to do is understand that right now they're going to squeeze us so tightly, and they have me big time. This is just as bad as it was last year when I threw away the chair October the 2nd. It's just as bad. And there's not that much stuff in there. Hey, Ryan, there's not that much stuff, right? Because I've purged it all in 8 years, or 6 years. Yeah. See? So this is my final thing is codependency. And I'm working on that big time, right? Especially now, because I feel like, oh my God, what? Yeah. So everybody has their stuff, right? And if you have to journal, I talk in my phone, I talk in my iPad, that documents all the way that I feel, right? We have to let it out of our bodies, everybody. You have to let it go. You have to just absolutely destroy your insides. Why? Because you're turning into a new human. So relationships will end with people, with jobs, with doctors, with dentists, with everybody that's in your life. Okay? Because you will get the push to let that person go. You'll get the push to change that. Get rid of that person. They don't treat you right. They don't respect you. They don't hear you, right? It's all about you. And it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be you, right? Because you're the vessel. You're the vessel. So understanding that the 3 points of the rest of the year are the 2 eclipses and the winter solstice in December. Okay? All the planets that mess with our world, right? All by the end of January go direct. They're no longer retrograde, all the outer planets, right? From Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, okay? The awesome thing is Pluto has already come out of Capricorn. And everybody, that's your freaking structure. It won't be back but for, I think, 2 weeks at the end of 2024. It goes into Aquarius in January. Okay? So everything that we've worked on for 15 years, that's in our structure, right? Swear to God, it's in our structure. It's in our lives. It's in our relationships. It's in everything that we do. Because we all have to have boundaries and rules and regulations. That's the structure. is all loosened for another 248 years, right? So you're going to feel happier. You're going to feel blessed. You're going to feel WTF a lot, right? I'm telling you, by the end of October, we are all going to feel like WTF. Because as I told you guys before, I know Spirit, they're going to catapult you into 5D in 2024. Trust me, you're going to be like, really like, oh, sheesh. What's that? What's that? What's that? Who's talking to me? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? Because they're all working together in our ascension of taking us into 5D. Okay? So we just have to make sure that we understand the momentum, right? Because you can't push back on it. They're going to take you there no matter what, right? So the best thing you can do is parent yourself. Understand everything is happening because you have to change. Everything is happening because you signed the document that said you're a starseed. And now, put the badge on and let go of shit. Whoops, sorry. Let go of stuff. Let go of it. Let go of trauma, right? Let go of anti-love, I call it, right? Where people don't treat you right. I mean, I made the change in early 2000s of, if you can't treat me like I want to be treated, you can't be in my life. Can't. Bye. Because people always didn't. And many of those people left. Was I hurt? Yes. But I'm okay. Because I knew that I needed to do what I needed to do to get that energy out of my life. Because you should all be treated with love. Should all be treated fair. Should all be treated with bliss and love and hope and everything. And, there's always an and, you'll have to do that for people you don't know. You'll have to do that for people that you do know in 2024. Because as you ascend, as your light gets brighter, because it's going to, you can't dim it. You're still gonna be listening to people's stories because they're gonna listen to yours. Okay? There's gonna be a lot of understanding of who you've become. Who you've become. All different colors of starseeds, right? All different colors. A blue one, an orange one, a yellow one, a green one, burgundy one, purple, whatever, right? Red? Yeah. See? So when you start to feel that way, or you get a message on YouTube, or you get a message here, or you get a message on Instagram, or whatever, right? TikTok. Take it seriously. Because what you're going to feel is, that's not who I am. I don't think that's who I am. I don't think that's who I am. Well, you are. You are. Right? Because you're going to be the person you're supposed to be, number one. Number two, you're tied to your muggledom. Your muggleism, let's say, right? Of being a muggle. 63 years old. I've always had the voice in my head, right? But I lived in the 3D world in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. Yeah. So I'm trained a certain way. Has it been difficult to let all that stuff go? Oh, yeah. Big time. For people, yes. Jobs, yes. But I understand now why everything happened the way that it did. James. And you'll feel the same way if you take time to look at it. Take time to look at it and go, okay, you know what? I get it. I'm on my journey. I'm going to where I'm supposed to go because my dumb butt signed that contract. But if you didn't sign the contract, you wouldn't be here now. It's a blessing. Your soul chose to be here now to be part of the ascension into fifth dimension. Yeah. Is it difficult now? Yes. Because we're purging 12,000 years of 3D. 12,000 years. A long time. But when we get back to 5D, this is the awesome thing ever. You remember being in 5D before the 12,000 years because we're just going home. Okay? Just going home. and already been downloaded with the ancient DNA, right? So as it gets activated, it's activating now. Truly it is. You're going to know more. You're going to understand more. And as you ascend into 5D, 3D world is going to be underneath you. Trust me, it's going to be there for a while. But the cool thing is, you recognize where you were 12,000 years ago. And the awesome thing is that you don't have to learn anything about that because it's already been downloaded in your ancient DNA. So you make all these epiphanies, you have all these freaking things go, Bill, I know what that all is, and I don't know how I learned it because you did that back there. Yeah. That's another reason why you chose to be here now. Hey, Barb. Hey, Heidi. That's why you did, right? You did this to transform, to go back to who you used to be in another lifetime, many lifetimes before. Could be thousands of years, let's say, right? Could be. And that's what's so cool, is that these 3 events in the next 3 months, 2.5 months, are going to trigger us into 5D starting in January. The last planet is retrograde till the 24th of January. But all the other planets are going forward, right? So that means we ride the wave. So as we go into the fall and into the winter, we're going to be like, it's a freaking sleigh ride, a hay ride, whatever you want to call it. Chimes. I'm telling you, we are going to be like, this is so freaking cool. And ego's going to kick in and go, oh, wait a minute. What, WTF, what is that? Oh, no, what is that? But the blessing is, as we get closer and closer to 5D, our ego switches from a negative ego to a positive ego. Everything that we learned in our lifetimes of 3D disappears. Because you've shed it. That's why the pressure is like you squeezing an orange, a lemon, a lime, anything citrus. Yeah. See? So it's super, super important that we understand that we're connected to the planets. We're connected to the goings on in the universe, right? That we're being hit with so much energy right now that's activating ourselves 24 hours a day. So if you're not sleeping good, that's why. If you wake up tired, that's why. You might be asleep here, but you're not asleep here. Because they got to get you where they got to get you. That was the plan. Did we read our soul journey when we signed it? Probably not. Did they possibly trick us? Yeah, they probably did. Probably did. But we're going to see radical change in the next 18 months. For the better. Right? Karma is coming due. It's coming due, everybody. Okay? So all the people that have done bad things in our government, in governments around the world, people around the world, is all going to come due in the next 6 to 12 months. And it should, right? Because you can't leave that undone as we leave third dimension. Can't. Because a lot of those people that follow those men, usually, are going to. Because their karma says, my contract ends January 24th. Right? December 25th, whatever it is. Right? So understanding that the war between Israel and Gaza, right, or Hamas, is planned. It's planned. Remember, there's going to be lots of people who leave the earth and do not come back. Is it horrific? It's horrific. War is always horrific, right? Men, women, children, pets, it's horrific. The blessing is once the wars end, which is going to be 2024, all right? The chance of war, Spirit says, will be like 15% because of the new energy on the planet, right? That those people will somehow find peace on earth because of them. They'll either pass away, be killed, all right? And new people take over that aren't as radical. Again, with love instead of death. Spirit says we're leaving the death ages. And we are. Man has never been this smart before, ever. Limited knowledge, Spirit always says. Limited knowledge in the past. Yeah. So as we speed towards 2024, I don't know about you, but it's speeding, like quantum energy is nuts, right? And that's happening around the planet, all right? But look at Israel being blinded by Hamas. They had no idea. No idea. That's them. Karma. Karma, karma, karma. Karma, karma, karma. See? Deaths on both sides. A few Americans passed also. But for them to be able to do that, and I hate to say this, but it's true, it's divinely guided. Because you have to clear the karma, the energy line, right? They've been fighting for 2,000 years. Well, that's 2,000 years of masculine energy, right? Year 2000, we went into feminine energy for the next 2,000 years. It's only been 23 years of the 2000s, or of the 2,000 years, right? We're just starting out. The cool thing, James, okay, wow. The cool thing is we get to be here for it. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Don't live in fear, right? It's happening just the way that it was planned. The way that it was planned. Now, I told you guys in 2019, I believe it was, before the pandemic, that we were going to be, there's going to be strategic nuclear weapons, small nuclear weapons that go off in the United States. And that's true. Don't be surprised if between now and June or July of next year, there's bombs that go off in the U.S. Not to kill anybody. It will kill some people, right? But it's more about the terror thing. Making us afraid. Making us afraid. And understand that's to move the collective forward, Spirit says. That's to move the collective forward. Because we can choose to be in fear, or we cannot choose to be in fear. We can choose to believe that everything's happening like it's supposed to. Yeah. And the people that pass in their soul journey, that was their expiration date. That day, that time. Because that's how it works. Nothing's by chance. And 9 times out of 10, they sacrifice because I want to go home. I want to go back to where I came from, right? My soul's missing home with whoever's there. Whichever galaxy it's in. Yeah. Because the majority of the people that are dying now in horrific situations are not coming back. Many people that are dying of old age are not coming back. And that's because they chose not to. They're done with their human lifetimes, right? And as we go further and further into dimensions, right? Dimensional energy, we see all kinds of changes in our lives. We see all kinds of changes in the way that people think. Crime, money, living the way people live, right? All over the planet. Because it's going to be a bottom up across the planet. Will it happen at the same time? No. Will the United States lead it? Yes. Yes. See? And so it is super, super imaginative, Spirit says, to understand that this can play tricks. It can make you feel, with ego, fear. What about if I do that here? Not going to. Trust me, not going to happen. James, not going to happen. They all fear the United States and our military and economic might. So we have to believe in that. We do. That's why we're leading the ascension across the planet. We're the youngest country on the planet. have the best economy, the highest economy, and the biggest, unfortunately, military. That's why we were chosen by them to lead the transformation. Yeah. So the points going forward, everyone is going to understand just like they understand Mercury retrograde. The more we go into 4 and 5D, the more the planetary actions, let's say, activations, are important. And you'll be connected to those things, right? You truly will. Because we'll all feel, because Pluto went forward on the 10th, 2 days ago. So the cool thing about that is, I didn't even know that. I knew it was going to go forward, but I didn't know when. But I'll tell you what, on Tuesday, I felt a whole lot better than I did on Monday. And Wednesday was great. I mean, it was gone. I was like, holy cow, check that out. Yeah, it was them. Because you're supposed to feel better, less weighed down, less angry, less fear, less everything, once that happens. Because Pluto is structure, government, rules and regulations, boundaries. And then you got Saturn, who is true structure, right? I mean, they work together. Pluto destroys. Saturn builds, keeps you in jail. But the awesome thing is that once we go forward into our ascension pattern, right? We understand all that. We understand all that. Because it's already been downloaded. We already got it. And little by little by little, it gets activated. Because some people have talked about, have made comments or left me messages, basically, that they don't like the astrology stuff. Well, guess what? We are tied to the astrology forever. It's what it is. It's what it is. Spirit understands that. They're into it too. Because back in the day, before we were in 3D, right? Every leader had an astrologist to tell them what was next. We're going back to the old science. See? And for me, I've always followed astrology. Didn't know why. Just fascinated me. Never really matched up. But that was the early days in the 60s and 70s, right? The awesome thing is, this is the last hit. The last gut punch. Pretty much forever. When it comes to truly squeezing that orange, right? Getting every drop out of that thing. Because the orange is energy. It's energy. See? When you're drinking, it gives you energy. Because of the sugar. Yeah. But as we continue to move, as we continue to get into our groove, as we get into our allowing us to flow, as we accept what we get, and that's the biggest thing, guys. I'm telling you what, you'll be able to tell the difference between your spirit guides and ego. Still work on that bad boy. Still work on it, right? Ego, that's not true. That's a lie. Now listen to that. That's a lie. And it spins me in freaking circles sometimes. But I don't hear it. I feel it. It's always the energy around my heart. Yeah. Yep. It was yesterday. I was out of the shower. I was done doing all my facial stuff. And I was talking to Spirit like I always do about the lottery and about, we're getting close to Maui. Yes, we are, blah, 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 blah. And I said something about, I'm pretty confident that we're going, that I'm going, Lee's going. I know we're going to go. I know it's going to be this year. And I said, and I understand that. And all the energy around my heart completely disappeared. And then the left side of my head started to tingle. I'm like, oh, okay. That came from nowhere. I mean, it was just me talking. And usually I don't remember talking because I'm always channeling, right? I mean, yeah. James, right? So I was like, well, shit, shoot. That was, wow, check that out. It's never happened before, ever. Ever in 63 years. Have I been able to do that? Like that. And they went, poof, just disappeared. I'm like, well, shoot, that's pretty freaking cool. And I was like, maybe it's Pluto going forward. And Spirit was like, no. No. I'm like, okay, it's you. Spirit says, no, it's us. Okay. I get it. And all I keep hearing for everybody, it's time to change, it's time to change, it's time to change, it's time to change, it's time to change. It's time to surrender, it's time to surrender, it's time to surrender, Bill. It's time for them to surrender. They got to surrender, Bill. They got to surrender. Because once you surrender, once you allow the flow, your life is pretty much an 8 out of 10. Things don't bother you as much anymore, unless we're in a period like this, right? The last final push of making us go, I get it. Just make it stop. And I will guarantee you that after that solar eclipse on Saturday, you're going to be like, what the hell? That thing was crazy powerful. Yeah. And then for a week or so, you won't have any, you'll be like, this is cool. But then on the 28th, the week of the 28th, we're going to get the energy back. Again, it depends on how much work you've done. Are you doing your meditations? I don't care who you listen to, as long as it's a guided meditation that's going to clear your junk out of your body, right? That allows you to let your energy go. I don't care who you do. I use Steve. It's good. I use this other one too. It's good. Spirit gives me, again, Spirit shows me what I'm supposed to do. And many, many people say, Bill, I can't believe that I have to. Because guess what? They're bigger than me, right? They're more powerful than I am. And that's what you have to do. You have to allow them to bring you what's next. You have to allow them, you have to tell them what you want, ask them, Spirit, I want to do blah, 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 blah. What do you think? And then you let it unfold. They'll give you the answer. Either your heart will explode like, ooh, I'm all excited, this is kind of cool. Or you get a message on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever, right? You will get the message. But you have to have the physical stuff too. What's the plan on changing jobs? What's the plan on moving locations? What's the plan? Right? And you got to look at the plan and not shoot from your hip. Because egos shoot from the hip. And 95% of the time, you will be sabotaged. Guaranteed. And usually, if you're sabotaged, you put that in your soul journey for that time right there to learn a lesson. It's usually listen, ask, and ask. People don't ask. How are you going to receive anything if you don't tell them what you want? Plain and simple. That's what it's all about. New job, new partner, new husband, new wife, new dog, new boat, new kid, right? Just ask. But you can't have the energy of, I'm not going to get that. And that's what this time is all about. Squeeze. You got to believe this. Squeeze. Squeeze that orange. Squeeze that lemon. Squeeze that lime. Squeeze that grapefruit. Yeah. Because the juice is energy. Right? So they're going to do that. Going to make your life uncomfortable, as they're doing now. Everybody's feeling it. People are having doctor's appointments. They're having hospital visits. They're having epiphanies. They're having brand new jobs that came out of nowhere. Yeah. It's good and bad, right? It's always good and bad. But the badness is for you to pay attention to your health, to your love, to your emotions, to your anger, to your BS. Yeah. We are so multi-layered, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But those are survival skills, everybody. Survival skills. I know I am the most knowledgeable person on street smarts. Never knew why. Well, now I know why. Been around for 12,000 freaking years, right? Been through everything I could possibly imagine. But in this lifetime, I've used those skills very, very well. survival. Knowing what to do. Knowing how to carry myself. Knowing the energy I put out there. Yeah. Again, I will say this, that I was probably 19 years old, and my mother said, do you have any white friends? Because I hung out with all black guys, right? And I'm like, yeah, my friends that I grew up with, why? And she's like, well, I only see you with black guys, with black girls, whatever, right? Black people. I'm like, well, that's just who I connect to, you know? And she was astounded by that. And what was so interesting is I could be the lone white person in a party and not feel anything in the 70s and 80s. Well, just there, right? Because I didn't feel it back. I could also remember going on New Year's Eve to a big party in Chicago, and two of my friends went, and we had to walk back to the hotel because you couldn't get a cab, right? After the party was done. And we walked through Cabrini Green. Walked around it, right? And my two friends were like, are we safe right there? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. You're kidding. I'm like, no, we're going to get back fine. Don't worry about it. And we walked around Cabrini Green, and we all of a sudden went up the Magnificent Mile right in Michigan Avenue. And they were like, it's that close to, yes, it's fine. We're not going in it or through it, right? And also, you have to be the energy of WTF. And I've always had that energy. I didn't know that they had my back. Not at all. Not at all. Didn't know anything about them. Just knew I had a voice in my head. See? But that's how we have to do it moving forward, is that you're going to be sure of everything that happens to you. Because you already wrote it, right? It's already downloaded. It's ancient DNA. And it's all going to get triggered. It's triggering now to get you ready for 4 and 5D. And guess where your ancient abundance comes from? 5D. So get your butt going, girl. Get yourself going, boy. Get yourself going. Because you have thousands and thousands and millions of dollars that are going to come to you some way, somehow, that your soul put away thousands of years ago for now. Because you're the same soul, same ego, same soul, same ego. It doesn't matter where it comes from. You can't see it now because we're living in 3D. But once you believe where you're going, James, once you believe that you are who you are, that you're not an imposter, that's one of the problems. I hear people say, oh, Bill, I could never do. Yes, you can. This is natural for me. I never hid it. I didn't have to. I grew up in a family that was spiritual, and they didn't know I had a voice in my head till I was older. When I said to my sister at 13 years old, do you have voices in your head? She goes, you're a freak. I don't have any of that stuff. You're freaking crazy. Oh, okay. My mom knew it because my mom was perceptive, intuitive, right? She was connected deeply, but she couldn't use it because she grew up in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? You didn't do that stuff then. Times. But she knew who I was the whole time, but did not bother explaining it to me because my life was hell back then. Had all kinds of missing pieces going on. So she knew what she could tell me, what she couldn't tell me. Okay? I wish you would have told me this part. It would have been much easier. Yeah. But you weren't supposed to, right? Soul journey. I had to learn it at 54 when I quit my job after 35 years. See? So everything is moving so gall darn fast. Not only energy, but conflicts will come up with ourselves, with other people, and it's showing us something. Showing us. Does that person need to be in my energy? Do they need to be that? Can they be that? No. See ya. You're on a limited basis now. See? Because that's what you're going to have come to you. You're going to have this sense of WTF a lot. How'd that person change? They didn't change, you did. You're here. Many of us don't feel that way, right? We don't, again, we have we're an imposter syndrome, right? That I'm not like her, I'm not like him, I'm not like her, I'm not like him. Well, you are. I will never forget in 2015, Lori Lipton met me for the first time. She's an amazing medium and shaman, amazing. And I met her at a anniversary at a holistic store close by where I live. And she met me for the first time, and I was the only guy in this meditation, right? That's where they put you, right? They put you in these circumstances, right? And we did this journey. I'd never done a meditation in my life. I was down in the ground with Jesus and all this. I'm like, holy sheesh, this is cool as hell. And then the women were talking about what they had gone through. And she says, out of the blue, are you Bill Hobart? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I've been waiting to meet you. I'm like, really? She goes, yes. I said, oh, okay. So come up here when we're done. I'm like, okay. Well, she went on to explain that she had gotten my name, from Spirit, that we were gonna cross paths. And she told me who I was. I'm like, I'm like that guy with a voice in my head, I think. I'm not really, She goes, I'm gonna work for you one day. I'm like, really? She said, I don't think that. I think I'll work for you. No, Bill, you have no idea who you are. And I'm like, I think I'm good, right? I had no idea. But it took me 8 years to embrace who I am. Because Capricorn's they're really humble. We're really humble. We don't want to be a target because we've had 12,000 years of death, right? So, but when people say that to you, right? Believe them. Especially if there's somebody that you respect that's been doing this a long time. I tell people that all the time. I remember telling a woman in her 20s, she had no idea who she was, and we were sitting in my house and we were talking, I was doing a reading for her, and I'll tell you what, now, 5 years later, her name is Jamie, her dad, like, boom. And she's like, yeah, Bill, I remember when you told me that I was going to be, I never believed that stuff. I'm like, well, what about now? She goes, yeah, pretty much. She's so deeply connected that she never thought she would be. But I tell people that all the time, of who they are. And usually in 3D, they'll, okay, that's great, Bill, thanks. Until they realize who they are. And then usually what happens is they're afraid of standing on the pedestal. But everybody understand this. Anybody who watches Coaching for the Soul and does horoscopes and does all this spiritual stuff, right? You're the teachers in 2024, 2025, 2026. Because all 330 million people in the freaking United States of America got to go to somebody because they don't know what the hell's going on. Why do they feel like this? Why do they feel like that? Because they're going through something that they don't understand. That's where you come in. Like I was talking to my friend Nancy today, and I was saying, guess what? As we go through this, you're going to be approached from all kinds of people because your light is really bright, and you're going to listen to people's life stories. They're just going to give it to you because you're so spiritual. You're so connected. I always think that it is because you're godlike, because you embody the light of love, 100% pure light. That your guides are already inside of you. They're already showing it out of the cracks and crevices of your body because you haven't allowed it to flow yet. And flow is what you have to do. And when you become comfortable with it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, Bill, there's so many people that well, of course there is. There's 330 million people in the United States. They gotta have somebody teach them something. And there's thousands, millions of us. Yeah. So these 3 points to the end of the year and the big push to get there. It's gonna be a high point and you're gonna dip. And it's gonna be a high point and you're gonna dip. And it's gonna be a high point and you're gonna dip. And you're gonna be a high point and then you're gonna dip with all the astrological things that are going on around the planet. And you have to understand that you can't be up here all the time yet, because your body and your brain aren't used to it. And they know that. You're going to change what you eat. You're going to change what you drink. You're going to change how you sleep. Everything changes. It all changes. And then you see your children change. Then you see your husband or your wife change. Yeah. Kind of cool. And who's the leader of that shift? You. I always tell folks all the time that as your children see you shift, they will follow that shift like that. But they have to know that it's safe to be that person, especially after the age of 5 or 6. I mean, I've been posting on my Bill Clairvoyant Facebook page this young man who's 10 and his mom's a medium, and they do these videos in the car when they're sitting on the side of the road, right? This young man is, oh my freaking God. He is so deeply connected to spirit and his guides. He can rattle off. It blows my mind. And every time one comes up on my page, I go ahead and post it because he is 10 and he is phenomenal. And he's such a cute little boy. It's like, oh my God. I saw a blooper today where couldn't stop laughing with each other. And he kept saying, just laughing. He's like, Mom, we need to sober up. Mom, we need to sober up. And she was just cracking up. And then he would crack up. And it was so funny because they're human. That's what's so freaking cool. This kid is 10. He came that way, which is wonderful. And he's just a cute little boy, right? And he feels comfortable doing that because of his mom's a medium. We pick our parents. We pick our brothers and sisters. We pick our dad. We pick our grandmas and grandpas, everybody. Our friends, our best friend, everything. It's already lined up for us to meet, right? But when you see a child like that, who knows? And some people have been saying that the mother's teaching him that. No, this kid's genuine. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't be able. He would stumble over his words. He would do all kinds of crazy stuff, right? He's 10. And he's a freaking spiritual genius. He is so connected. He can answer any question that people throw to him. So when his mom's activated, right, he gets activated too. In ascension. But the beautiful thing is, he is such a genuine, sweet soul. It's just what comes out of his mouth. That's the future. That's the future. So when mom gets activated or dad gets activated, every one of the kids will start because they're going to finally say, so mom, what is that? Mom, why did that? Mom, you're different. Dad, what about that? And they'll be like, well, you recognize that? Well, yeah, I always have. But they didn't want to say anything because they didn't want the parent to discount them or the grandparents to discount them. Kids are very perceptive. Understand, they're old souls. Sometimes they're older than you. So they come into the planet, I got this agenda, I'm ready to bust it out. But mom and dad aren't there yet. That's why it's so cool when parents get involved, when mom and dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, whatever, right? I mean, my nephew and niece in Florida just think Uncle Bill's a weirdo. Yeah, it's Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill. My niece up in Fenton, she's like, yeah, that's Uncle Bill, it's kind of cool. My 26-year-old Cancer clairvoyant, my sister's son, Ross, he's all into it. He gets it. Because he's a Cancer, right? How can I make money on this bad boy? How can it make my life easier? That's the key. He asks all the time for stuff. All the time. And he's 26. Freaks my sister out. She goes, oh my God, Bill. He's not going to get any... Stop, Miss Scorpio sister. Stop. Leave him to himself. He will manifest all kinds of things that he wants. That's why you got to ask. You have a cornucopia, a vortex of everything that you plan for this lifetime. Not the money, because the money comes separate. But all the goodness is right there. So as you ascend, as you go on your journey, even deeper at quantum energy, speed, right? You're going to get all kinds of cool stuff. All kinds of cool stuff. But you can't let what's happening in the world deter you. Everything's playing out exactly how it's supposed to, right? Spirit told us years ago exactly what was going to happen in this part of the decade. That all of the dictators would be gone, except for China by 2030. It's going to be true, right? One at a time, they're going to get murdered, they're going to die. Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to as people get tired of war, spending money on wars and things like that. But the free world has to protect the free world. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's always supposed to be that way. That's why we have the biggest military in the world. We are supposed to do that. And we're a rich-ass country. Again, the blessing is when we get into 5D and the structure is changing already, right? Everybody will be abundant. We've got plenty of dough. Got plenty of money. Plenty of money. Corporations will start to pay more money in taxes. And we'll pay less. And that's the blessing. Because we're going to be free-spirited, loving all the kind of cool stuff. Yeah, we are. And I look forward to that at 63, soon to be 64. Yeah. See? Because it's our destination. Nothing's going to stop you from getting there. Trust me. It's never going to stop. Because when you get there, you're easier to connect to. It's easier to release. It's easier to understand because they talk to you. We talk without speaking. Yeah. That's how it's going to work in 7-8 years. Which I can't wait for. It's going to be freaking cool as hell, right? And then my ego says, you know what? You might want to calm that down because you're probably not going to be the ones that is able to do that early. Really? He just said that to me. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So the wars are the wars, right? And Israel and Hamas, they're going to, they're going to kill a lot of people. Those people are going to go back to where they came from, And because we're softer, more loving than we've ever been, we look at the brutality and think it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible what humans do to humans in this 3D energy that we live in. The blessing is that all goes away as we move forward. There's no bad people anymore. They'll all cycle themselves out. I hope to see that in the next 10 to 15 years. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Okay. I'll answer them as soon as I can. I'm going to leave this up. I've been leaving it up on my Facebook page until tomorrow morning. So I usually answer these after I get this on YouTube. Okay. So I'm doing sales on readings, which is kind of cool. $130 for an hour, $100 for a half hour. Get up to speed with what's going on, guys, for your life, because it's a pretty good deal. 25 bucks off each. So, yeah. And please subscribe to my channel if you would for me over on YouTube, Bill Hobart. Let me see what else. Subscribe. And I learned something this week that if you guys like the video, please do. The algorithm pick that up too, also with the comments, okay? Because I'm trying to grow it because that's just me being me because I want more people to see what we talk about, right? And I know it'll happen when they want it to happen, right? I'm not pushing it. I'm just asking people to do it for me, because right now there's 21 people that are watching. That's cool. There's 21 more people that like the video. I'm good. So thank you. And again, like I said, questions you can guys put down there and I'll answer them for you. What else? The readings, element packages, guys, until the end of the year. If you want coaching, if you want to know one-on-one with me every month, there's packages from 15 minutes to an hour and a half and unlimited questions overall. So that you would text to me, right? So billhobart.com or elementsessions.com. If you want to join me and 21 other people. There's also a private Facebook page for the Coaching for the Soul tribe. So we're in there telling people our experiences, all kinds of cool stuff. People asking questions and they get answers from me or other people in the group. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good community. Pretty good community. So that's at billhobart.com or elementsessions.com. And guys, if you want to give back, there are donate tabs on my billhobart.com page. We would schedule a reading or on the YouTube channel. So if you want to give back, I appreciate it. It helps me to keep things going, right? So Hawaii's coming soon. So I don't know when, I know how, but yeah, so we'll see what goes on. So thanks everybody. I'll see you next Thursday for Coaching for the Soul. Thursdays at 3. See you.